guys, Zach here, and today what I'm going to be talking about is how to increase your sales in 30 days using customer lifetime value and what I've learned from this. So really interesting topic. So there's kind of two scenarios here. So there's brick and mortar, and then there's more the e-com side, the online space. So with that said, the graph will remain the same. So over here we've got the customer, the amount, and then over time we've got the value. Now the two biggest differences I would say is in the brick and mortar space, everything's very focused on sales. Small business focused on sales, the front end. And then the other side of that, which is where we see companies scale really fast, especially in the online space, Fashion Nova, Clickfunnels, other things like that, is brand. So here we've got sales. And over here we've got brand. Now for sales, so think of this as a McDonald's. When someone comes in and they want to buy a cheeseburger, that's their first purchase. So maybe this cheeseburger with fries, maybe we're looking at $10. Now, once they bought that cheeseburger, then you know, okay, if it costs you $3 to acquire that one customer and they just spent $10, now even net revenue is $7. Now, given that first purchase, if you give this person who got this cheeseburger a free coupon for, say, a free dessert if they come back. So maybe that dessert's going to cost you 50 cents. Now, this person comes back 2 weeks later and they're coming in for their dessert, but they're hungry. So they buy a cheeseburger or something again before that. Maybe they go for the drink and the fries this time. So now their purchase is $14 in total. They got their free ice cream for maybe 50 cents. And all of a sudden, that $3 acquisition cost just doubled the effectiveness. So this here is sales. This is where everyone's focusing on the short term. And now that $14, that's more building on brand. So as soon as that customer has an experience with your business, whether it's online, brick and mortar, anything, that's leverage for them to repeat the business or leverage for them to go take their business elsewhere. So same $3, now we're at $24 in revenue, and this is only 2 weeks in. Now, customer lifetime value is this at scale. So brand, if a customer is gonna stay with you for maybe 3 years, and maybe it's a restaurant, say it's a clothing store. Maybe it's a clothing store, maybe you come in, you spend $200, every 6 months. So now if it costs you $20 to get that customer to come in and spend $200, now you have a net revenue again of $180. Except now, for you to incentivize that customer, reach out to that customer again, whether it's via email, via Facebook, via anything like that, now you've got leverage and your brand experience to bring them back in. So if this is every 6 months, over 3 years, this customer is going to be actually worth about, what is that, 4 times 3, about $1,200. So with brand, you've just built $1,200 worth of business out of the same $20. With sales, usually the relationship stops after that $200. And this is where a lot of brick and mortar businesses face that kind of hardship of getting to a certain amount of scale and then stopping, compared to these online businesses that just scale so quickly, because all these online businesses are fully focused on their back end. And all these brick and mortar businesses are really only focusing on their front end. And nowadays, as that cost of acquisition is increasing, you've got to really lock down the back end of your business to continue building not only the relationship, but your revenues and everything else as well. So a great example of this is actually my first successful business was a high-end boutique personal training business. And when I first was getting into it, I think about the first year, we probably did, I don't know, maybe 80,000 or so in revenue. And what I noticed was it would take, if a client would come in on the front end, maybe they would buy $900 would be their first purchase, and this would get them 10 sessions. Now, if based on my marketing effort at the time I wasn't doing very much marketing because I didn't really understand it. Now, if this cost me $20 to get this 900, that's leaving me with a good amount of profit. Now, I was so scared to spend money on the front end because I didn't really know if the client was going to come back after they bought that initial package. Now, this is where, again, the loyalty comes in. So after year 2 and year 3, I started to notice clients were staying on average 2 to 3 years based on our experience. We were delivering them results. We had a phenomenal experience in general. We had a great community build. It was very loyal. And I began to realize after I did the numbers, one client was worth $30,000. And before, I thought one client was worth $900, maybe. That was the maximum. Now, after I learned a client was worth $30,000 per client, okay, now it makes sense to spend even $1,000 to get one client like that ideal client, because now that's $29,000 on the back end over 2-3 years compared to this one is $880. So literally in 30 days, by implementing this strategy, leveraging the customers you already have to come back for repeat business compared to focusing on sales, you will notice a massive increase in 30 days. And the way you're actually going to notice this is going to be a video I'm going to release tomorrow, which is called your value ladder. And this is actually how you bring a customer from a $900 net worth to a $30,000 net worth, or depending on what the market is, could be more or less than that. But building a business for longevity instead of this vicious cycle of get one, lose one, where so many people are stuck in that. And this value curve will literally start here and it'll go up, and it's almost like a hockey stick effect. As that customer becomes more comfortable with your business, now you've got referrals. Now you've got them, talking about you on social media. Now you've got more testimonials for leverage. You've got a more educated customer on your business. So for instance, one of my clients is high-end retail. And the more educated that client is on the product, say you're selling a Porsche versus a Honda Civic, a lot of that just comes down to the education. So yeah, thanks so much, guys. This is your customer lifetime value. Now, what I'd like you to do if you're a business owner in the e-commerce space, brick and mortar, anything, is I want you to actually draw out what your ideal client is actually worth. And the way to actually figure this out is if you're in the restaurant niche, figure out whatever the average table is. Say the average table is 3 people, the average bill is $160, and measure, okay, how often is that person coming back? See, look in your CRM, whatever it is. If you're in the car industry, real estate industry, this is all the same thing depending on how quick or slow the sales cycle is. But figure out what a customer is actually worth. And once you do that, it gives you massive leverage to go create more customers like that. But on this front end, this does not give you leverage, and it creates a lot of fear and scarcity that, oh, if I spend even $30, now I'm just biting into my profit. No, it should be, okay, if I spend 10x to acquire a customer, can I 10x their revenue? And that's what this conversation is. So thank you so much, guys. Subscribe to my channel here, I think probably on the downward corner. Tomorrow's going to be a video on value ladder, similar setup, actually showing you how to walk your customers through this experience to increase that bottom line revenue and grow your business even more. So thank you. Have an amazing day and see you tomorrow.